Aaron Moriarty. Chase Crawford. Laz Alonso. Taylor Capone. Jesse T. Usher. Karen Fukuhara. And executive producer, Eric Kripke. All right, we will open it up for questions.
So what do you guys what made you guys choose Amazon over, say, Netflix, Hulu? Do they offer more creative freedom to you guys to do the show?
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, so did Amazon give you more creative freedom to do the show than, say, like a Netflix that they offered, or was Amazon always the choice for the boys?
Oh yeah, yeah, they were the perfect choice because they bought the pitch. So that made them amazing. They've been great. They have an incredible amount of creative freedom. The streaming format really allows you to really open up the world and explore the characters and get as outrageous as the show wants and needs to be. They have frankly, the budgets to do it right. This needs to feel as good as it has to have the quality of the superhero stuff that's happening in the movies. Like, this one cannot feel like a parody. It has to feel like a real thing, and Amazon has the resources to give us that. And they've been creatively just amazing. They've really given us the chance to really make this strange, perverted show.
So the show is very subversive, very anti-corporate, and I think it's also very feminist, which is really nice to see.
Yeah.
You talk about kind of the progressive and subversive and even feminist elements, especially for starters.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I am very big Me Too movement in there.
Random dude is not going to answer that question, so I turn it over to.
Yeah, it's cool because when you're sent a script that's called The Voice, you kind of make an assumption about it, especially for one that's centered around superheroes. So the first assumption I made was that it was going to be this kind of like superhero drama that adheres to that kind of stereotypical superhero formula. And the second assumption I made when I read the name Starlight was that she was just going to fit into that box that we're all really familiar with. And she doesn't, and that's what I loved about it. And I think it's a really cool opportunity because here you have, when you first meet her, this very earnest young woman from Midwest America who, although being earnest, she's not, she's not naive. She's just, she doesn't know the world that she's getting herself into because you don't unless you go behind those closed doors. And then she's, smacked in the face with reality. And it turns into a really morally ambiguous situation. And I really like that here you're presented with this young woman who we all know, you're seeing it through her eyes. She's a good person. You can't dispute that. And, good people can make bad decisions in the moment out of our own visceral reactions. And she ends up kind of becoming empowered as a result. And I keep coming back to the same saying because I just think it's the most applicable one for this situation, which is that sunlight's a really good disinfectant. So I'm glad that we're kind of exposing these stories and making them less and less taboo so that, we can, honor people who have been through these types of things and prove that, you're not always a victim coming out of it, maybe with a stronger person.
Over here, hi. I was at the show's panel at New York Comic Con. It was really great, and Karen, I asked you a question, so I'll just stay on trend with that. So, you've done action before and you've done action again, but what would you say separates these two characters and makes them distinct from one another, you know, going from playing Katana to now playing this character?
I think the main thing is that I'm not wielding a sword. But I had a conversation with Eric at the beginning of shooting last year, and he wanted something more animalistic, something that's not refined, whereas Katana was more martial arts and very deliberate action. I love playing a female because you just never know what's going to come because she fights in a way that's out of the ordinary. Yeah.
Hi. The character Huey was based off of Simon Pegg in the comics, and obviously he's not Simon Pegg, you know, he's going to do a great job. So I was wondering, did you guys ever approach Simon Pegg to possibly play the character, or is there some type of nod or Easter egg that might show up in the show?
Did I approve Simon Pegg? I was like, man, you gotta get down here.
No, I'm saying if he'll show up or anything like that, you know, if you guys know about that.
Well, I mean, for me, Simon's my hero. Like, I absolutely love all of his work, and, you know, when I first read the script for this, I didn't realize immediately that it was based on a comic book. I just thought Eric took the world that we live in today and put superheroes in it. So then after I got the role, I devoured all the comics, and then I realized, oh, okay, that guy looks familiar. And, you know, it's not necessarily like he's played the role, but I did feel like I was stepping into some pretty big shoes. But just the fact that I got to work with him as my dad, that was a dream come true. He's the greatest.
Hey there.
I think like it's a pretty fun show. What are some of your favorite memories of filming on set for this show?
Carl, answer that question without giving anything away.
Favorite memories, I've had many. I guess on more challenging stuff, well, for me would have been an episode in our pilot, I get to fight an invisible superhero, which was a whole new interesting thing for me. I've done various different fights in my career, and that was a trip. I mean, literally standing in the middle of the room, swinging at nothing and taking hits from nothing. It was felt really funky. But you know what? I've just had such a fantastic time working on the show and this incredibly talented cast. I love working with in the world of the boys. I guess really what appealed to me about this show was, you know, these blue collar young men and women who decide to take on the man, the top 1%, the most super powerful. And I was very intrigued as to how you sustain that conflict when you have, people of supreme power. How do you take those down? And for me personally, it just seems like every time I turn on television these days, I get to see that reflected in the current events. So I think our show is quite timely, and I'm sort of really, I can't wait for it to get out there, and I hope it resonates.
Okay, hi, way over on the other side. So, I haven't watched the show yet, so do you mind giving an intro to your superheroes and what are the expectations that you're breaking?
Where are you?
Introduction to superheroes and what your powers are?
Yeah, like what the powers are and like what...
Introduce superheroes. Okay.
Happy to.
Take it away, Deep.
My name's Chase Crawford. I play a character called The Deep. He's an aquatic superhero. He talks to porpoises and other crustaceans. They're his only friends. He's deeply insecure about it.
Deeply.
He's got it.
Okay, Erin Moriarty and I play Starlight. My power is that I shoot lightning out of my hands.
Okay.
That's all that needs to be said. I would drop a mic, but there ain't no mic to drop.
So, I'm pushing star at Commander. I fly. I have lasers in my eyeballs that zap things up. I have X-ray vision, super strength, super hearing. I fly. I have lasers, super strength, super
I
hearing.
mean, most of us have super.
Well, yeah, but I've got super strength. My brain is strong.
The ability of super repetition.
Exactly.
All right, it's Jesse at the end.
What? You just skip the boys? We're all powerless except for.
That's not true.
Okay. I'm Jesse T. Usher. I play A-Train. He's a super athlete, super speedster. Sort of like the Flash, but the Flash had a drug addiction. Something along those lines. Yeah.
I'm Karen. I play the female, and she's just really strong. Really strong.
She's fast.
She's a strong girl. Yeah, no, I am quick. You're right. I am quick. Yeah.
She's mostly angry.
Agile.
She's mostly angry. Super angry.
Yeah, I have anger problems.
Most of us do.
Okay.
So with the comic, as you all know, it's pretty in the face and pretty brutal. What were some of the challenges that you faced adapting that and any changes you had to make or some additions you added?
I'll take it. Yeah, the comic is incredibly shocking, super outrageous. And look, we wanted to capture that subversive spirit of kind of anarchy. But by the same respect, I think we didn't want to be shocking for shocking's sake or exploitive. I don't think that really works in a TV show. I think you need to feel you're in the hands of competent storytellers. So the overall rule in the writer's room has been, like, we're all for something shocking or subversive or crazy, but it has to be really important to the story or be really important to advance the character. And if it is, and you can't tell the story without it, then we'll do it. If it's just in there just to be crazy, in general, we kill that pitch. Because overall what we're really trying to do is, what is the most brutally realistic version of superheroes in the real world? And with superheroes as insecure and fucked up and self-serving and selfish as real humans really would be, and you gave them superpowers, they would all be super Bill Cosby. I mean, it'd be insane. And so, did I say something? Is it too soon? Too soon for all you fucking Bill Cosby fans in the audience? But, So those people sometimes behave in really awful ways that we want to be unflinching about. But by the same respect, it's not meant to just to be shocking. It's meant to tell a real story about a real character.
I wanted to ask you, Eric, what scene in the comics were you most excited to film or
Recreate?
Yeah, recreate.
And I would also need to hear this. I'll turn it over to Jack to hear his feeling. But from the beginning, we were always sure we were going to open the show with A-Train running through Robin, Huey's girlfriend, which sets him off on the whole journey. And Derek Robertson, even when the guy who drew the comic, when we were in really early conversations, I said, "What's important to you?" And he said, "Please, the most important thing is that A-Train runs through Robin." And I was like, "Well, that's really important to me too, and we're definitely gonna do it." And just because to me, like, that really sets the tone of what this show is going to be. And again, the reality of if you were a speedster in real life, like, occasionally you would be running through people. So I just loved it for the shock value and for, like, the logic behind it. What was it like filming it, gentlemen? Both of you.
It was really gooey. It was covered in a lot of stuff. Shot with an air cannon. But despite all the special effects, it was a day where, it was a really important scene. It's crazy, but it sets my character on his entire journey. So it was one of the most challenging but one of the coolest and most surreal days I've ever had on the set. What about you, Jesse?
Yeah, it was an honor to run through your girlfriend. Absolute honor. Yeah, that pretty much sold me on the thing. So you get to kill Huey's girlfriend. I was like, sold. I don't need to know much else. No, but Eric had like a great adaptation of it. You know what I mean? It was very as real and grounded as it could be. It wasn't just crazy for crazy's sake. You know what I mean? It felt there was a lot of other elements involved in that scene that kind of just took our minds away from what was happening. And that's, you know, a testament to Eric and everybody involved. And I think that's kind of something that carries over throughout the show. It's like, we're doing a lot of really crazy shit. There's so much going on. It kind of just keeps us in those moments.
Hi, my name is Alina with confreaksandgeeks.com. And I had a question for the boys, right? Because you guys are kind of the underrated superheroes. What are some of the ways that your morals clash with the characters that you are playing?
Sorry, could you please repeat?
Sure. What are the ways that your morals clash with the characters that you're playing?
I mean, we do some messed up shit. I feel like, you know, us as actors would not be getting into half of, maybe even 90% of what the boys get into, but, you know, we're doing it for a good reason. But yeah, it gets into definitely some dicey territory, so there'd be some differences for me. But.
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about dodgy, definitely Billy Butcher morally crosses a few lines that I find personally quite repugnant. Pretty much every day. But you know, it's always fun to have the opportunity to do and say the things that you never could or would want to in real life. And you know, it's just a kind of a fun way to let all that heinous shit out. So.
Mother's Milk, who is pretty much the moral compass of the boys. I tend to agree a lot with his logic and his way of thinking. But even still, their normal is so ridiculous that even as morally upright as he tries to be, you know, they still have to justify all kinds of really fucked up shit. That's the only way I can explain it.
Oh, je ne sais pas. Well, if I lived in a world where if I lived in a real world where a superhero would be douchebags like this guy that's over here, I guess there's I'll just say the same.
That's scary.
I think for me it was the violence, but the thing is, it all comes down to survival, and we're all doing the things we do and murdering people and all of that for a reason, and it's, for my character, it's usually about survival. What's different about the comic book version and our version is that the female isn't just killing because it's a physical need or a want or desire to kill, it's because she needs to stay alive. So I think that's how I justified playing such a violent character.
One of the things that really made your last show, Supernatural, kind of unusual and wildly popular eventually, is that on the surface it was a show about two brothers hunting demons and, you know, kind of a monster of the week sort of show, but underneath the surface it had a lot of deeper messages about family and family not ending with blood and things like that. Is there a similar underlying message to this show, do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely, and thanks. That was very nice of you. I would say I keep, in a certain way, in terms of theme, I actually think I keep making the shows with very similar themes. I think this show is about family. I think this show is about the boys who are the good guys in the show, and the superheroes are the bad guys. The boys are the heroes because they stick together and they show each other loyalty and they've got each other's back and they're willing to admit vulnerability and weakness. And they're scared and outmatched and outgunned, but you know they're taking on these powerful forces. not dissimilar from the way Sam and Dean would take on monsters and demons. But I think this is, but you know, it's specific to this area, and I think the thing I want to say, and I think that we all want to say in making the show, especially in today's day and age, like, what I love is the heroes in the show are the people that can express vulnerability and weakness and be imperfect, and the villains of the show are these sort of slick people who stand in front of the world and can refuse to admit any sort of weakness and somehow think that demonstrating or projecting strength at all times is somehow good, when what it is dictatorial and autocratic and total bullshit. And so the people who appear to be strong in the show are actually quite weak, and the people who are weak in the show are actually quite strong, because we all need each other as people. And so there's a thematic to this show underneath I mean, look, the show's really about superheroes are real. If they were real, they'd be dicks. Here's the team that fights them. And you can watch the show and have a blast at that level, but we spend a lot of time building the iceberg under the water, with the emotion and with the satire and with the thematics to make sure that there's a real deep level, a real deep level if people want to explore it.
Eric, I just feel that you really eloquently described the superheroes as presidential.
I see what you did there.
Final question.
In the series, you do deal with a lot of very dark and serious situations, but also manage to cover a lot of comedy in the mix. Has it been difficult to sometimes create at the same time as well as swap between the two topics?
I'll ask them, because they're the ones who have to deal with the dialogue that goes from something really serious to funny. So, how do you guys do it?
Well, my guy's pretty dark. Generally, that's okay. You know, like Eric was saying, I'm the guy who has laser eyes, who flies, who's the strongest, and all that. Outwardly, just arguably the strongest member of the Seven, or pretty much the leader of the Seven, the strongest superhero on the show, but I always look at it as the weakest person on the show. Because all of it is driven by insecurity and need and a desperate desire to be connected and part of something that you can never truly be a part of. So underneath, on the surface, we get all these scripts with all this wacky, crazy stuff, which is so much fun to do, but it also has to have this anchored emotional truth. Otherwise, we're kind of at sea and we've just got these pieces floating in the air that are disconnected. And I think our job, which Eric's made very clear and he's really great about collaborating on, is just to create an environment of play and experimentation on set and really push the boat out, continue to try and find new things and push and push and push. And then, he's got the God's eye view and the editors, they come in and they find out what his parameters are, especially in the first season of the show. It should all be about experimentation, keep finding it. So we all just, we trusted him. And for what, we're all really positive about the show, and it's just been a fantastic thing to be a part of that process.
Thank you everyone for coming. The next show up in Carnival Road.
All right, thanks everybody.